Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Located a capitation of 50 billion for university education and another 15.8 billion to the higher education loans board. 50 billion for university, and I want to assure our universities that the 50 billion and the other 15 billion to the higher loans education board, this is ring-fenced, and nobody is interfering with that money. Even the cost-cutting measures that are being undertaken with other sectors of the economy for education, all the funds as allocated by Parliament are ring-fenced. So I want to make an appeal to my brothers and sisters, because I know we had a very good function 1 week ago in Dedan Kimathi, and we did discuss, among other issues, funding to universities, and I want to make a clarification. Nobody ever said, I repeat it here, that university funds are going to be done away with. No. I think it's better we get the entire story. For those of us who were in Dedan Kimathi, what we said is yes, government is supporting universities, and the government will be able to continue supporting universities through capitation and even infrastructure of funds that the government does support universities each and every year, and that is clearly manifested in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, the education charter. If you look at it, we have said as a government, if it is money for research, we want it increased from 0.8% to 2%. So our universities relax, get assured that government will continue the way it has been doing over the years to fund our universities. But we are also asking, and this is what we agreed when I was in Dedan Kimathi University, that if there are other ways that we can also be able to generate income for our universities, why not? Because universities are also supposed to indulge in research and innovation, and for sure there are quite a number of our universities, and I thank them, which are already doing research and innovation, and by so doing they are generating a lot of revenue. And what we are saying is that we can also explore other ways of generating income, other streams of revenue. So that is what we said, and government will never stop funding universities. Government will never stop funding universities. Get me right, as your cabinet secretary education, because you know sometimes I can't understand why somebody comes up with some kind of story that does not exist, and we spend a lot of negative energy on something that was never said and something that you know can never be. We remain optimistic that as we sustain our support for both the Tibet and the university subsector, the institutions will continue with their long-standing tradition of diversifying their income generation activities to ensure they do even better. We will leave all our doors open for meaningful engagements that brings on board all stakeholders as we seek to make our education sector more transformative. This has already begun through the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms, where all stakeholders, including those from the university sector, have been invited to present their submissions on the challenges affecting the sector. In addition, the Ministry of Education will be reaching out to these stakeholders to ensure that their concerns are taken into account on the policy decisions that are made in a bid to address the existing challenges. My way of doing things is that I will be able to work very, very closely with stakeholders. In actual fact, even before I came here, I was with the corporate in the course of this week. The sector WASU, and we are going into each and every sector such that we are able to compare notes, and I'm also making an appeal to each and every Kenyan, because we have a presidential working party which is moving into each and every part of the country, all the 47 counties, such that any one of us, and we are making this appeal that all Kenyans kindly present your views to that particular working group, because in the Kenyan constitution it is clearly enshrined that public participation is mandatory. The outcome of what the Kenyans say and what is captured in their views is what will come to us once it is presented to the President of the Republic of Kenya, and then it comes to the ministry. The outcome is what we will be able to implement. That is what is going to give us the way forward. So we are making an appeal that you also take the opportunity of presenting your views when the working group is moving around the country. To our development partners is that the government of Kenya will ensure prudent utilization of all resources provided. The projects will be monitored and the stringent measures put in place to ensure that quality of work is maintained. In this regard, the ministry expects the contractor to not only do quality work, but also deliver the project in a timely manner so that value for money is realized. Once again, I thank the Federal Republic of Germany, the Chairman of Financial Cooperation, KfW Bank, GTZ, various industries participating in the dual TVET training, KISS the Board of Governors for provision of land and hosting this event, and also to all stakeholders not mentioned by name for your support. Here, the government has allocated Kenya shillings 1.8 billion for construction and equipping of technical training institutes and vocational training centers. Further, Kenya shillings 1.1 billion has been set aside to increase access and improve the quality of technical and vocational education and the training programs under the East Africa Skills Transformation and Regional Integration Project. Additionally, 527 million has been set aside for technical vocational education training and entrepreneurship, and another Kenya shillings 971 million for promotion of youth employment and vocational training. And I also want to assure the chairman that money for capitation, I think for the last quarter we were able to send money here, and also of course the next quarter there is also money for capitation coming to Kiambu, and not only Kiambu but all our national polytechnics will also get capitation, because that is government policy. It is in the budget, not a national polytechnic yet, and I think my first assignment and the responsibility as a cabinet secretary for education is going to make sure that I actualize that, such that we are able be a national polytechnic, because I'm aware that in Nyandarua, which I have so much passion for, because I'm one of the people who initiated that particular national polytechnic, is already one, and you are far ahead. You have not won yet. So we are going to make sure that before the year ends, you are a national polytechnic.
As it is one of the most important KfW finance projects and of our development cooperation as such in Kenya. Youth employment is the overarching goal of German development cooperation in Kenya, and we indeed have a long history in working together and supporting the education sector here in Kenya. And we launched the Kenyan-German TVET initiative for youth employment already in 2016. And we set its focus of cooperation on supporting the Kenyan youth striving for employment and job creation. And we discussed this earlier with the Honorable Cabinet Secretary, that we are having about 800,000 young Kenyans each year coming to the job market and coming to the education sector looking for opportunities also. And we know that these are very ambitious young people and that we have to give them a chance. And I think here in Kiambu we are giving them a big chance. Vocational training is a very German one. It's a German specialty, and we are doing this for over 100 years. And I think we are quite successful in training specialized workers in Germany, and we are very grateful that we have a chance now also to work together with Kenya to bring this model here to this country. Our expertise in technical vocational education and training has been shared with Kenya for quite some time, and we are now ready to scale this up and to bring it to the next level. And the advantage of this system is that the young people receive training that is standardized on the one hand, but also clearly oriented towards the needs of industry on the other. And in this regard, I would also like to welcome the representatives of the private sector, because they are so important in bringing together the theoretical knowledge, but also the practical expertise. And it is this close partnership that we have succeeded time and again in aligning training with the needs of industry, and at the time creating jobs that provide fair pay and good work. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are really happy to support the cooperative training approach in Kenya, adapted to the needs to the Kenyan economy. We support currently 7 institutes in Kenya to become centers of excellence for cooperative training, and we believe that the private sector plays a key role in training young people in line with the market needs and increase their employability. So we are having 50% practical exposure in industry and 50% in school. And such a large practical exposure increases both the practical technical knowledge as well as the social skills, which are equally important in a workplace. So, as I said, the 7 TVET schools and many governmental and private partners, we are able to train around 350 students in this cooperative training approach, and this is just the beginning, so we want to scale this up.
I've had 36 trainers that have been undergoing training both locally, and some have also been going to Germany for training. Honorable Cabinet Secretary, this project is one of those that we have been piloting to be able to have our country get into dual training or cooperative training, where, like I told you earlier, we are going to do a 50-50 training, where the industry will be conducting 50% of the training and the institutions will be doing the other 50. We also have had support from the GIZ, KfW, the German government, to now do the dual training policy, which is at very advanced stage. The project is going to focus on key economic drivers. One of them is industrial mechatronics, automotive mechatronics, auto building and welding in the first phase, And for example, Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology will now be a center of excellency under this project for industrial mechatronics. Vika Technical Training Institute will be for auto body building and welding, and Nairobi Technical Training Institute for auto body mechatronics. We'll also be having Kitale National Polytechnic for agriculture, machinery and equipment mechatronics, Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology for refrigeration and air conditioning, and Bunde Technical for automotive mechanic, and Ekuribo for agricultural plant technician, basically for the tea sector.
Upgrading of KIST to a national polytechnic. 2. Provision of more public trainers. We will note, Chief Guest Sir, that at the moment we have a deficit of 130 trainers. A deficit, Chief Guest Sir. Thirdly, we pray for timely flow of capitation. Chief Guest Sir, if these prayers are granted to us, we shall surely be able to achieve the purpose for this project and for this